Spider-Man.
Yeah, that's a great segue, right? But the trailer just came out, and everybody's already watched the videos on it and the reactions and this and that. But I mean, come on,
We're nerds.
Yeah.
If they don't bring back Tobey Maguire,
there's no way they're not going to. There's no way they're not going to bring Tobey and Andrew.
There
back
is.
into it.
There's a way.
How would they?
He's not on the IMDb.
Why'd you even say Andrew? Who cares?
They're bringing both of them back.
They are, but who cares?
If they bring one
I just
back,
want Tobey to come back.
I know.
No, here's the thing. I mean, obviously, look, the Amazing Spider-Man movies aren't great films by any means, but I like Andrew Garfield.
I know they're bringing Electro back and maybe the Lizard.
They're bringing Electro and the Lizard back. Those are both confirmed.
Are they going to have the Sinister Six in it?
No, that's the idea. So we saw all but the sixth member in the trailer, okay? Mm-hmm. There's one shot where you see the lightning and the sand.
Okay.
So that's Electro and Sandman.
So it's Electro, Sandman, Doc Ock, Green Goblin, the Lizard.
The Lizard. And those were all things we saw hints of in the trailer.
So
I didn't see the Lizard.
I'll show you the shot later.
It's
blink
very,
and you miss it.
very
but you see like the tail kind of in the background.
So, okay.
And these are all the original versions, right? Like this is the version of Sandman from Spider-Man 3. Like they're bringing.
And we know they're not going to do Venom because
Willem Dafoe is coming back as Green Goblin.
Oh, thank God! I'm so
hallelujah.
Yeah.
I can't imagine that they bring back all these original villains and not bring back the Spider-Men that go with them. Like
yeah, you have to.
So then, who would be the final villain? I've heard a few theories.
I've heard a few theories too. I'm assuming, like, because you have all these villains from, the previous movies, it's probably going to be one of Tom Holland's.
Vulture?
Maybe Vulture.
Michael Keaton?
Maybe Vulture, or somehow Mysterio, even if it's just his hologram. Like, I don't know.
I actually heard a theory that, it was interesting, I don't know if it's true, but someone said that Doctor Strange acts weird in the trailer. Like, how he causes all this magic to happen even though he knows it's going to be harmful.
Yeah.
So there's a theory that he is a villain. Some villain I haven't heard of.
So yeah, there's a villain in the comics called Mephisto and there's a storyline in Spider-Man called One Day More where basically like Aunt May gets shot and hospitalized because everybody knows that.
Oh, that's from Civil War.
No. This is there's that, but this is a different storyline. This was a little bit older.
Oh, she gets shot twice?
Yeah. Well, just everybody's shooting Aunt May. But what happens is Peter's identity gets revealed.
Yeah.
And Aunt May gets hurt as a result of it, and so basically Spider-Man goes to Mephisto, who in the Marvel Universe is the devil, and is trying to make a deal to, like, erase this, right?
Yeah.
And kind of like Tom Holland's going to Doctor Strange to make a deal to, like, erase some sort of spell. But in the comics, at that point, Peter Parker was married to Mary Jane, and Mephisto's like, well, you're going to have to sacrifice your marriage. Like, you won't be married to Mary Jane if I do this.
Oh,
yeah.
So Spider-Man does it, and it resets everything. So it's kind of been this
where he's going to sacrifice his relationship with MJ. But the thing is, I don't think Mephisto is a big enough villain for them to put that in the movie.
They put, like, not big... I mean, they made Ant-Man and Guardians of the Galaxy. Like, they bring in lesser-known characters all the time. Yeah. I think they could do it.
I think it might be Mysterio.
And Mephisto's like a big Doctor Strange villain as well. And I think this is leading into Doctor Strange and Multiverse of Madness. So I think there's some merit to that.
That'd be smart.
And that Sam Raimi's doing it make more sense.
And Sam Raimi's doing the next Doctor. Yeah. I'm just telling you, like, I'm excited about this, but also how it's going to tie into the new Doctor Strange. I think Doctor Strange is one of the more underrated Marvel characters, and I actually really like his movie, his solo movie.
I actually like him in the other movies that aren't his solo movie.
Did you not like Doctor Strange?
It was fine. It was a little I don't know what the word would be. It's like very Eastern. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I don't know. It just didn't feel as like Marvel-y to me. It felt weirder.
But maybe that's why I liked it.
Is that a bad thing, though?
Maybe that's why I liked it. I liked how like it almost looked like Inception with all the buildings flipping and like.
I haven't seen it.
Cool.
I mean, that part was cool. The ending I kind of liked with Dormammu.
Yeah. You should.
I know it's been on my watch list
because it's actually pretty decent.
Yeah.
But in Infinity War, like he really stuck out to me. Like I'm
right. I liked him in that a whole lot more.
So anyway, I do think that it's potential that maybe it's a villain disguising as Doctor Strange,
or it's Vulture,
Mysterio. Yeah.
So how would that happen though? How would he be the bad guy? Like, what's the bad guy's name?
Mephisto. The devil. Satan.
Yeah. Does he look like Doctor Strange?
Well, no, but he could disguise
himself.
Exactly.
Oh, okay. So that makes sense.
That's why I thought it might have been Mysterio again. like tricking.
Yeah,
Sure,
They did that in
and
the
that's
last movie.
another possibility. And so there's part of me that, from a Doctor Strange perspective, thinks maybe Mephisto, but from Spider-Man, like Mephisto's never been a member of the Sinister Six. He's not a Spider-Man villain, so it wouldn't really
Unless
make
it's
sense.
a chameleon.
Well, they set that up at the end of Homecoming, right, and never really paid it off.
What, chameleon?
Yeah.
Or Scorpion. That was Scorpion.
Oh, Scorpion. That was Scorpion. I don't. Whatever.
Chameleon's the one that changes his appearance.
Oh, I see what you mean.
Yeah.
But that's just a dude in a mask.
So who knows? Honestly, I think it'll probably be Vulture. I think that would be the most... I mean, if you're bringing back all these original villains to fight the Spider-Man, and then you have Tom Holland Spider-Man, why not bring back his first villain? You know, like...
That's fair.
I think...
And I love Michael Keaton.
He's wonderful.
Yes.
So,
Michael Keaton with Willem Dafoe.
well, and you hear the Willem Dafoe laugh when the bomb like
He
falls
shows
on there,
up,
you're
I
like,
may
oh, man. And it's the exact same bomb from the Sam Raimi
Yep.
movies. And then Doc Ock.
Yeah.
That's cool. And they de-aged him, but it looked good.
They de-aged him, and I think that also points to, like, this isn't just them bringing the actor back, right? Like, you see J.K. Simmons as J. Jonah Jameson at the end of
That's the only weird thing.
Home,
So
right?
is that the JJJ
I don't
from
think so.
the Sam Raimi?
I think
How are they going to explain that? Is he just going to look exactly the same in both dimensions?
Well,
You know what I mean?
I don't
Like-
know if either of you have seen Loki, but that deals with a lot of the multiverse stuff.
I haven't.
The Loki
but
series.
I probably should.
And so, yes, there are, like, so in each multiverse, there's, like, a version of yourself, essentially,
Yeah.
is the concept. And they call them variants.
Mm-hmm.
And some of them do look the same as you. Some of them look very different. So that's why, you could have, Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield, Tom Holland. They're all Peter Parker in their universes, but they all look different.
Yep.
And there's probably another universe where one still looks like Tom Holland, whatever. So, like, I think it's very possible.
Because there's, in the theory of the multiverse, there's infinite
possibilities. So, like, you see a Loki that looks just like Loki, but then you also meet a Loki that's a girl, and you also meet a Loki that's a crocodile. Like, the show's really weird.
Right,
It gets kind of funky. But
Yeah.
that sets up a lot of what happens in this. So, I think... Not that I feel like you need to watch it to understand it,
But it might
but
help.
for me, I'm
Yeah.
taking that into context when I'm going into this movie. And Doctor Strange literally said, the multiverse is a concept. I'm like, they said multiverse. They're doing Spider-Verse.
Yeah.
If Toby and Andrew aren't in it,
I'm gonna be mad.
I'm going to riot.
Yeah.
And they've talked
A lot of people
about,
are.
with Sam Raimi being back, like, maybe this could lead into a proper Spider-Man 4.
Mm.
Like, back in
That'd be
his
great.
universe. Which I don't know.
They should just make the one that they were supposed to make.
Yeah.
Which I think was actually supposed to have Vulture in it.
It was. And it was... Who was going to play him? I forget now.
And Black Cat.
I don't care about that, but... it was going to be good.
Anyways.
So, anyway, Tobey Maguire. Love
Yep.
the guy.
Now, if this is going to be a spin-over, crossover with Sam Raimi movies, does that mean Bruce Campbell's going to be in the new Spider-Man?
I don't know that he's going to be in the Spider-Man movie, but he's definitely going to be in Doctor Strange.
That's true.
Because that's a Sam Raimi directed movie.
That's true.
That
means Bruce Campbell will be canon in Marvel.
Yeah. What a blessing.
Good. It's time.
Yeah, I don't know about you, but I felt super nostalgic seeing some of that stuff at the end of the trailer. I
The
was like,
bomb.
yeah. I was like...
When the bomb showed up, I'm like, yeah. Because I used to have a little toy one.
And I hope that they don't show Toby in any of the marketing.
I hope not. That would really kind of mess it up.
Yeah.
Like, show the villains,
I
right?
honestly don't think they should have even shown that stuff.
That
Like Dr.
teaser,
Octopus.
that was supposed to be a teaser. That showed
Yeah,
like the whole
they
thing.
showed a
What,
lot.
They
what's
don't
gonna
need this-
happen?
Marvel, don't show any more.
Yeah.
Yeah, that needs to be it. I don't
That's
want
it.
any more
Listen to
marketing.
the three
Here's the thing:
weirdos.
everybody was already going to go see it anyway.
Yeah.
They probably could have gotten away without releasing
They
any
don't
trailer.
need to market.
Yeah.
Really, they're just like, all right,
You're
Spider-Man's
right,
out.
though. If they show any of
Boom.
the other Spider-Mans, it would defeat the reaction.
Yeah,
in the
and so
theater.
I'm trying to stay away from stuff until it comes out.
Don't
now.
even show us Willem Dafoe.
Yeah.
Even though that's
And
what
I
we're
think
all
I
seeing
think the reason
movie
they
for.
chose to show Alfred Molina, Dr. Octopus, is because he had already revealed in an interview that he was coming back and that they were de-aging him.
Oh.
And he wasn't supposed to, but he did. Because I don't know, he's older. He probably isn't like even thinking about any of that.
Yeah.
It's just
That's
they
true.
interviewed him. He's like, "Oh yeah, I just was on Spider-Man recently," and so everybody already knew that because
Yeah.
that Variety interview that had come out. So I feel like they
Yeah.
were like, "Well, we can show this in the trailer because."
And Dr. Octopus
already
is
out.
like maybe the most famous Spider-Man villain, so it was
pretty iconic. I
Yeah.
think him and Willem Dafoe's Green Goblin are probably
Yeah.
on the same level.
No,
though.
I mean in like the comic.
Oh
world.
yeah,
Yeah.
I see what you mean.
I just hope they use
Willem
the
Dafoe's
original
better, but I
theme
Oh
from the
yeah.
Spider-Mans. If they work that in there, I'll be happy. Too.
So I don't know about you guys, but I think probably a similar reason for all of us that like that's so nostalgic is like I grew up on the Tobey Spider-Mans.
Yeah.
Those were like
there.
so my first superhero movie was Christopher Reeve's Superman. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Throwback.
But then my first like modern superhero movie that like actually came out when I was alive was Spider-Man 2. I actually saw the second one first. I saw them out of order. And it was also, I remember it very distinctly because it was the first PG-13 movie I was allowed to watch, and I was super excited about it. I was like, oh yeah,
living on the edge.
I'm a big boy now. And I remember watching with my dad and my brothers, and I was just like, this is awesome. I loved it. And
sure.
I think the first two still hold up for me. The third one's a little rough, but I still love it.
I still love the third one. I remember collecting the Burger King toys when they came out.
Yeah.
That was like the first movie I was ready to see in theaters.
Yeah.
Like I was like prepared.
I'm trying to figure out what's going on with all this Spider-Man stuff, right? Because there was a couple years ago, there was like right after Far From Home came out, it was like Marvel doesn't have the rights to Spider-Man anymore. Sony's taking it back, right? And everybody's freaking out. They're like, oh, Spider-Man's out of the MCU.
They're done. Yeah.
Okay. And they were also announcing like all of their Sony solo films, like they came out with Venom with Tom Hardy.
Mm-hmm.
And they had a bunch of other ones in the works, and they were all about the villains. And it's like, well, you can't do that without Spider-Man. It's like, oh, we're taking him back. He's ours. And then they randomly announced, they're like, oh, no, we're going to make Spider-Man 3 together. We're buddies again. Okay. And I think probably part of that conversation was Sony trying to negotiate so they could figure out what they could get out of it, right?
Yeah.
And there's a lot of different directions it could go now. Because at this point, if they wanted to bring Tobey Maguire and or Andrew Garfield back and continue their franchises, they could. And they could have that going on in another universe while MCU keeps Tom Holland.
So it's a win-win.
Yeah. So, yeah, there's some possibility there. And I kind of feel like maybe that's part of what that deal was about. But I'm also confused because Venom happened and there was no direct connection to the MCU.
I was just about to say, I really want to see the Tom Hardy Venom make a crossover with the Spider-Man. Tom Holland or with
any of them.
Because I actually was really surprised. I really enjoyed Venom.
I did too. I thought it was
and
a
I
fun
thought it
movie.
was going to suck.
I thought it was a fun movie, and they're working on the sequel, and then there's...
Did you see it yet, Austin? All right, we'll watch it. It's good. I really liked it.
Well, maybe we can watch it when like the second one's going to come out.
Yeah, the second one looks good, and your dad's in it.
So, your dad's in it?
I always joke his dad kind of looks like Woody Harrelson.
Oh, okay.
That's my dad.
Carnage.
So, and then the other one they're talking about is like Morbius, which is like Jared Leto playing a vampire. Like this is like a very little known Spider-Man villain.
Yeah,
but they had a trailer
I don't care
for
as
it.
Much about Morbius.
But here's where here's where it gets confusing. There's two things that popped up in that trailer that like, because what the thought was that was a part of the Venom continuity, right?
It's not.
Well, I don't know. I'm very confused where they're going with it. No, because what there's two things that happen in the trailer. One, you see a poster of Spider-Man in the background when he's like walking through an alley, and it's got the word murderer spray painted on it. And of course, at the end of Spider-Man Far From Home, he's framed for murdering Mysterio.
Yeah.
So it's like, well, continuity-wise, that makes sense in, Tom Holland's Spider-Verse, but it's the Sam Raimi Spider-Man on the poster. It's literally the Sam Raimi Spider-Man on the poster.
So were they introducing the multiverse back then, or like kind of hinting to it?
I don't know, because the movie hasn't come out yet. We just saw a bunch of stuff in the trailer that we're like, what's happening?
I didn't even know that was a Marvel movie, because I didn't know that was a character.
So you see that poster, and it's the Sam Raimi Spider-Man, and then at the very end of the trailer, Michael Keaton's Vulture comes out, and is like recruiting Morbius to some team. Right? So you're like, Michael Keaton's that's the Tom Holland villain. So I'm very confused about what and like let's say that Venom and Morbius, like, maybe they take place in the Tobey Maguire verse, but that doesn't make sense because we've already seen Venom and Eddie Brock, played by Topher Grace from that '70s show.
When did that movie? When was that movie made?
Morbius.
Yeah.
It's not even out yet, is
it?
Yeah, it's supposed to come out at the end of this year.
I don't know.
But then it got pushed out.
Are all weird
it got
because of Dubrovin.
Yeah. So it would have come out this October, and then it got pushed. And so I think it was made like I mean, in the past couple years.
Yeah.
Definitely. So I don't even know if they knew what was going to happen.
Yeah,
yet.
I don't think they did.
They just found a clip art
And
of
it's
Spider-Man put it on that poster.
And so a lot of people thought, well, like, it looks like anybody could have made this poster. Maybe that's just a fun nod. You know, maybe this does take place in the Tom Holland continuity, but it's just kind of a fun nod to the old Spider-Man movies because somebody went on their computer and made
Venom just seems a lot darker. That whatever universe the Venom movie is in just seems more like nihilistic and darker than the bright Marvel-y Disney-verse.
I feel like there's a way you could
you could fit it.
Yeah, I feel like you could explain how Venom took place.
I almost think Venom would fit better in the Andrew Garfield verse.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they haven't introduced Venom in that universe yet, so you could maybe pull that off.
That universe could use a good villain.
It could, and a good director.
Yeah.
I would love to see like an Andrew Garfield Spider-Man movie because there are elements of it that I'm like, I see where this could have been good.
No, it could have been good. They just, I don't know. I didn't like the lizard first off. Like, that's not the lizard.
He wants to turn everybody into lizards.
But why do you look like that? You look like a I don't know, like a Mr. Clean. Like the lizard looks like an alligator guy.
Yeah.
Like, come on. I know they're like, this is realistic. I was like, it's a guy turning into a lizard. Don't make it realistic. Just make it cool.
Yeah.
You know. That's why I always like the Sam Raimi movies, because he's like, didn't try to make it realistic. He's like, there's Green Goblin flying around on a glider. Like, it's already goofy as it is. Just make it cool.
Yeah.
And it did. It worked.
Yep.
It worked.
Green Goblin flying around on his glitter.
Yep.
There's
with pumpkin bombs.
The butler that comes to James Franco to tell him that the glider that killed his father. He says glitter. He doesn't even pronounce glitter.
No, he
right.
says glitter.
Glitter.
He's like the glitter that flew through your father.
Oh my god.
Maybe that's why Spider-Man's a murderer on the posters, because it's James Franco made that poster.
That's true. It could be that who knows?
Spider-Man
but then why is Michael Keaton there?
Because he's Michael Keaton.
It's true.
He's actually from the Beetlejuice verse. Or he's Batman. It's Batman crossover. Did you ever realize that the scene where Michael Keaton is talking to Tom Holland in the car from Homecoming, that's Batman talking to Spider-Man?
Yeah, basically.
That's a great scene.
That's like the best scene from that movie.
Yeah. No, just the part where he opens the door like to pick her up for the prom, and it's Michael Keaton.
Yeah.
Because I should have seen it coming, but I didn't. Actually like
that was
a
good surprise.
Oh.
Well, because that's like a low
things.
stakes twist.
Yeah.
Like usually movie twists are like plot changing. This is just like, oh.
Yeah, that you're just like, the last 20 minutes are going to be kind of interesting.
Yeah.
The Tom Holland ones are decent, but Tobey's always going to be the best.
For sure.
Amen.
I like Jake Gyllenhaal as Mysterio. That was pretty cool.
Jake Gyllenhaal is a great
Mysterio is
actor.
actually my favorite Spider-Man villain, like comic-wise.
Were you satisfied with how they portrayed him?
Very.
That's good.
The scene where Mysterio gets shot, and then Samuel L. Jackson as Nick Fury shows up, and then he actually is Mysterio again. Like it was another projection.
Yeah.
And then Spider-Man backs up and gets hit by a train.
That's great.
That's like right out of a comic book. That was perfect. That's exactly what I wanted as a Mysterio fan. Even though movie-wise, Willem Dafoe, I just call him Willem Dafoe because Green Goblin is my favorite in the movies.
Yeah, same here.
Willem Dafoe.
Willem Dafoe. What a man.
What a guy. From The Lighthouse.
Haven't seen that one.
Oh yeah, he's Willem Dafoe.
Have to watch it.
Yeah.
It's so weird.
He screams a lot in Old English.
That's nice.
Yeah. Does good at it too.
And I haven't seen The Florida Project, but Austin says it's really good.
Was that a Willem Dafoe movie?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He's in Orlando.
Yeah. He plays the
They
property
filmed it in
manager.
Orlando?
Yes.
Yeah, they filmed it in Orlando.
Dude, if you watch that, if you're from Florida and you watch that, and you've ever been to Disney, you'll like connect with it. It's like got the vibes
Yeah.
down packed of Orlando. Like,
And does Willem Dafoe play a good Florida man?
Willem Dafoe
so
is Florida.
he plays a property manager, I believe, at
That
this
just sounds
crazy
like a Florida
motel.
man.
Is he a Florida man property manager?
No, he's like the good guy in the
okay.
character in the movie.
So
I've
Florida
never
man
seen
can't
Willem
be
Dafoe
good guy.
play a good guy.
I know.
You know?
Yeah, he plays a very
No, he
good
was-
guy.
he
He
was
plays
in
himself
Platoon.
basically.
He was
Oh
a good
yeah,
guy
yeah,
in
that's
Platoon.
true. Yeah, Platoon. He's a
I've never
good
seen
guy.
Platoon.
Okay. What other movies is Willem Dafoe in? Oh, he was in that movie where he plays that demon, the book on Netflix.
Yes.
It's based off the anime.
Death Note.
That
was great.
He was CGI'd for that, but it was good.
But it was so
now,
good.
the people who like the anime hate the movie.
Yeah,
but I haven't watched the anime.
Take the anime away, it's a still good movie. Like, it's...
Have you seen that?
No.
It's about anyone...
Is it still on Netflix?
Isn't the concept anyone he writes in the book, they die?
Yeah. You can write, names of people and how they die. And then it'll happen.
And then it will happen. And the demon who owns the book is Willem Dafoe.
Yeah.
I forgot the
And he kind of,
name,
is like the voice in this guy's head the whole movie.
Mm-hmm.
That's really good.
That's Willem Dafoe.
Very creepy, his character.
Yeah,
Like,
that was a good movie.
Yeah.
Netflix.
You guys want to go see Paw Patrol?
Yeah. You know
you
what's
haven't
funny?
seen it?
So I have this weird thing. Maybe movie fans out there will get this, but I just find this really funny. I listen to movie soundtracks a lot.
And you've been listening to the Paw Patrol soundtrack.
Well, I was listening to because I work at the theater. I was listening to the Paw Patrol soundtrack. If you took it out of context, it sounds like a really intense, like the music score. Because a lot of movie scores are generic.
Yeah.
The movie score sounds like something that would be in like a Marvel movie. It's like
What?
But then when you put it in context, it's like the Paw Patrol saving a kitten in a tree.
Yeah.
But it's so hype that it sounds like the world's about to end.
I want to see it. We should probably turn this off. But look, we did it. We did our first podcast.
First episode.
So I don't know how frequently we're gonna do it or what we're gonna do next, but we'll
once a year at least.
Yeah, once a year.
Well,
that's
we'll see
about
how
what
many
my
people
subscribers
like
are
this.
used to.
Give
So-
this video 3 likes, and we'll make another podcast. You got 1 like for each of us. So if it gets 2, you'll never see
5
it.
Smash
likes,
that
I'll
like
do a
button.
backflip.
And look, no,
Break
but
your
seriously,
neck.
if there's any movies that you want us to cover or topics that you'd like us to cover, then we might do them. So suggest them in the comments.
We might? That's so non-assuring. He just left.
Bye, Connor.